Nebraska head coach Matt Rhule dropped some absolute bars at his previous press conference and was talking about his team and their approach. And I'm going to paraphrase what he said, but the sentiment was, we're not here just to try hard. We're not here just to, lose close and then thank the fans. We're here to win. And we got to change the expectations of our guys. We got to change the mindset of our guys. We're here to win. And winning happens right now. Winning doesn't happen when you get to start playing games in the fall. Winning happens during practice. Winning happens in the little things. Again, that is far more than what was said by Matt Rhule, but that was the sentiment. And I will say this was a direct quote. He said, we're here to win. If you're a Nebraska fan, man, that fires you up. It fires me up. We live in Nashville, Tennessee. Never been to Lincoln, Nebraska. Not yet, at least. We'll see what happens in the fall. But that fires me up, man. I got some thoughts on this. Make sure you're subscribed. Nebraska fans, I'm telling y'all, this is the time to lock in here. We talk a lot of Nebraska because Nebraska is a very relevant piece of college football. We're going to talk about it, okay? So make sure you're locked in. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter, @JDPikel. Man, a lot of y'all already have, so we appreciate y'all for locking in on this beautiful platform. But if you haven't yet, man, the water's fine. Jump on in. Okay, so why does it matter that he said it that way? It's a press conference. At the end of the day, words are just words. But words, I think, to a very real degree, give you a peek into what the mindset, the philosophy, the approach, the inner workings are right now at Nebraska. And what he said with, we got to change the expectations of our guys, I think that was on the freaking money. Before you go anywhere, before you reach your destination, you got to what? Chart the course. You have to lay out the plan. You have to lay out the way to get there. And think about the team that he took over. This operation, they're not accustomed to winning. I mean, the last 2 years, they're 7-17. They have to train their mentality. They have to train their expectations, retrain the approach to expect to win. And that's okay to expect to win, but I'll tell you this, having been a part of that kind of turnaround when I was playing college ball, that's a difficult thing to do, to teach your brain to now expect something that you haven't done previously. But the other thing he said, winning starts right now. We're going to get to these games in the fall. We're going to get there, but we win during spring practice. And they're resetting the standards. They're resetting the standards of what they do internally to get to winning. We talked about it here on a previous video, but they're checking that they have the right mouthpiece. They're checking that they're wearing their jersey over their pads. They're checking that they're into practice on time. Like all the very little things that are crucial to winning. The little things, they add up. Because I'll say this, winners do things a certain way. There's no detail that's overlooked for someone who's able to routinely be successful. That's on the football field, that's on YouTube, that's in life. Like you care about the details, those add up. How do you build a house? A bunch of little bricks. Those bricks better be quality. Quality bricks make a quality house. Matt Rhule and company right now, they're focusing on quality bricks. And if you're a Nebraska fan, be excited because there's no games to be played right now. You're changing your expectations. You're changing your standards. It's the way that you do things. And I said this when Matt Rhule got hired. He is exactly what the doctor ordered at Nebraska. Because to go 7-17 in the past 2 years, what does that tell you? The details were being overlooked. And I'll say this too. Those 17 losses, a lot of those, I would venture to say double digit of those were by one score. So one score means what? Get just a couple bricks differently, maybe the outcome's different. Now, maybe woulda, shoulda, coulda. We're not really here to discuss all that, but I'm just saying the way that Matt Rhule is building this thing, the process that he's putting into place, it's going to help them, obviously, in terms of just putting a better product on the field, but it's not just to look better. It's not just to lose close and thank the fans. Like he said, we are here to win. I love that. I love that. To speak it out in front of your team, to let them hear the confidence of your head coach, that does something to a player, man. I'm telling you. To have your leader cast the vision, to say this is where we're going, here's how we're going to get here, you then get to sort of borrow some of that confidence, if that makes sense. I say this all the time. Head coaches, their mentality, their persona, it trickles down into the roster. So if Matt Rhule's confident, Matt Rhule's detail-oriented, guess what? Eventually, by nature of him being the leader of that roster and that operation, they are eventually going to have that infiltrate into what they do on a day-to-day basis. So here's the deal. right now, the way they're doing things is going to help account for the personnel that they are still working to acquire, both on the recruiting trail, via the transfer portal. They're doing work in both those areas, but you and I both know it takes some time to build a house. Okay, so is the personnel going to be where you need it to be in the fall? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know that answer. But I'll say this, the way they're doing things right now is going to help account for whatever personnel they don't have. There may be some games where Nebraska, they have to win because they're just more disciplined. Hey, we won the turnover battle, and we won the penalty battle. Advantage us. That's how we won that close game. It'd be very refreshing for Nebraska fans. But I'll also say this, once the personnel eventually catches up with Nebraska and their culture, once it eventually aligns with how they do things, that's when you're really going to be cooking with grease. Now, will that be 2023? I don't know. History would tell us for Matt Rhule, it's going to be somewhere in the range of year 3, could be year 2, based on what the portal now allows him to do. It could be year 1. I'm not saying it's not, but I would just say this. If year 1 isn't all that you hoped and dreamed it would be, I wouldn't panic, because you're building a house. You are building a house. You're doing things the right way. Every day, they're stacking bricks in Lincoln, Nebraska. When it's all said and done, I think you're going to like the way it looks. All right, Nick Brake, Lifting Heavy, this is your show, man. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.